Guess who is live and in living color, playing around with wigs and hair and makeup? It is Auntie. Hi, everybody. I am coming out here to do a live chat and nightcap. And of course, you all see that I am standing up. I'm standing up because I'm tired. And so I have to stand up to make sure I don't fall asleep. It is so good to be out here tonight. I know a lot of you are sleeping. And so I wanted to make sure that you had this first thing in the morning. So anyway, I'm going to go on and do my review on Married at First Sight Decision Day. So I attempted earlier to tape this, and my camera was all kinds of jacked up. Of course, you all know that my camera is new, and Auntie is trying to learn how to operate it and work it and all of that kind of good stuff. And so right now, I'm going to have to do it this way until I can get it done the other way. So anyway, let me go ahead on and get started. As you can see, I don't have any glasses on, so I may not be able to read any of your comments. I also made notes that Auntie is probably not going to be able to read, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead on and get this done real quick, put it up for your entertainment and your eyes only. So if this is your first time being here, I am Auntie. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much. Welcome to our family. And for all of you all who have been my nieces and nephews from birth, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. That's what Bob Jerome grandma say. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being along for the long haul. I thank you so much for your support, your kindness, your patience, your love, and everything else. So I am going to go ahead on and get started, okay? All right. I feel like with this little wig on, I feel like a doo-wop girl, okay? All right, so anyway, we started off this episode with Danielle. And Danielle was talking with CODY, and it is the 2 days before decision day, and she's basically saying, you know, we're really good friends and we're having a good time with this. Knick knack paddywhack and give a dog a bone. I don't know why they made the decisions that they did, but hi baby, hi Rick. I don't know why they, you know, decided to make the decisions that they did, but you know, we'll get to that later on. Auntie made a prediction last week that 2 of the 3 couples will stay together. And so we're going to see if Auntie predictions came true or not, okay? All right, so she's talking to him, and you know, basically he's still in that sex zone and she is still in that friend zone. The next couple that we see talking with one another is our girl SHEILA talking with Nate. And they are basically talking about, you know, what they need to do in order to make sure that this relationship lasts between the 2 of them. Again, as I said last week in my review, I don't believe that they can stay together without the counselors. I think that SHEILA is very hot-headed at times. Although this episode, we were able to see the softer side of her, the remorseful side of her, the side of her that realizes and recognizes what she did wrong. And so while my heart was happy to see that, I just don't believe that she has the wherewithal in order to stay consistent where she is. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to be a lady tonight. And then we're going to move, so we're going to move on. So she says, you know, they decide that they're going to put boundaries in their relationship so that, you know, when they're angry and they're fighting, that they fight fairly. And, and that number one, that they would not bring up any past relationships while in the heat of an argument. And number two, that they would not use derogatory words against one another when arguing. Basically fighting fair and fighting intelligently. Okay, so the next couple we see is Ashley and Anthony. I apologize last week because I was calling his name off wrong. Had a whole different couple in mind, so please forgive Auntie for that last week. But we see them in the car, and he's, trying to make jokes and everything and make light because they look like they're, going on a trip or coming back from one, whatever they're doing. And Ashley is so on edge because she is just totally in love with Anthony. And it's 2 days before decision day, and she doesn't know where he's going with it. I think that, as a woman, a lot of times when we're in relationships, we really don't know where it's going. We're hoping that it's moving into a positive direction, but again, you don't know. And so he's making light of, her cheating and the sister and the family being in the household. And she's like, this just really isn't the time for this. And so for him, it's like, boom, another red flag where, she can't be flexible, and she has to lead off with precaution and all of that kind of stuff. And so, he's like, God, we just like on so many different pages. It's unbelievable. This year with the couples, they did something a little different than they have done the previous years, where they actually allowed the couples to go to a family member, a friend, or someone that, they held in high esteem to seek advice. We see Ashley, who goes and sits down with her mother, and she has a discussion with her mom about being spontaneous and making decisions on the fly, not really thinking them out, and how that is so much opposite of Anthony, who is more meticulous, more analytical, and takes his time with making a decision. They both realize, the two of them, that they're not on the same page as it relates to starting a family, having a child. Her mom gives her the advice and tells her, well, you know what? You need to make a decision. You all need to make a decision. You shouldn't have to wait a long time in order to make that decision. And then if it's the wrong decision, you learn from it. Guess what? When you have that child, you have to really make a decision, especially as a married couple. As far as finances, religion, it's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration before you start a family. And so I disagree with the mom, because children should not be a casualty of a bad decision. I think that they are both grown and mature adults and should be able to make that decision intelligently and not just jump the gun and say, okay, we'll learn from it. Well, guess what? You'll have 18 years, really a lifetime, with your children with a bad mistake, if it is a bad mistake. So anyway, then we see, hi, who's that? Hi, boo-boo. So anyway, we see Anthony talking with his dad. He reached out to his dad, and they are Skyping, and basically his dad is telling him, is Ashley able to deal with the difficult parts of who you are? And the thing about it is that Anthony is not able to tell his father yes, and he's not able to tell his father no. I think that there's some aspects of Ashley that he really likes, and there's some other aspects that he's really cautious about. And for him not to be able to tell his dad that she can handle those rough parts in a relationship, I guess for him is something that he's able to work through. For me, it would not be something that I would be able to work through. I would have to work that out before I said I do. So previously I had said that I think that I could marry someone at first sight. Okay, a black woman, and changed her mind about that, because I think that, some decisions you have to really, 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 really think out, plan out. I am more of an analytical person. I think things through. Things tend to worry me more than the average person. I used to be, when I was younger, a very spontaneous person, and I would move, basically, by the seat of my pants. And since I have grown and matured, I now realize that you have to think things through, and that for every decision that you make, there's a consequence, whether it be good or it be bad. And so I don't know if this is an experiment that I could do. Why I think I could have the maturity level to do it, I don't know. One of the things that was resounding amongst all the couples was that they all found out different things about themselves by going through the process. And I guess you would, and you would learn those things really speedily, because you have no other choice but to learn them speedily, okay? So anyway, wait a minute, I have some notes here because I want to make sure that I get these people's names right, okay? Because y'all know Auntie will fuck up a name. Excuse my language, but y'all know I will. Okay? So, Danielle sits down with her girlfriend, Angie. They look like they're at a restaurant or pub or something, or wherever she is. I mean, this girl really, to me, she just seems like she almost got a damn drinking problem. But who are me to judge? Let's move on. So she sits with her girlfriend, Angie. Angie, of course, as we know, is dating Cody's brother. They're happy in their relationship, and they're having active sex. Something that Cody's not getting. She sits down at the table with her, and she advises her that Cody should not be, continuing to bring this issue up. Hi, boo-boo. Hi, the knowledge beast. She talks to her about, this is something that he should not continue to keep bringing up. This is something that he should keep to his damn self, basically. And I totally disagree with her. I think that Danielle should have sought wisdom from someone else who wasn't very closely related to the issues. She says that, basically she doesn't even see herself even remotely at a position to move to a place of love and not this daggone friend zone that she has him in. And even to say friend zone, I think, is an understatement, because really she has this man locked up, chained and keyed up, and with no other decision, no other choices in his life. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, you don't advocate cheating. I never advocate cheating or infidelity in the marriage. I never advocate adultery. But god dang, you know what? I'm just trying to say that, Cody, call me. Call me, boo, because I'm with the swirl. Call your girl who's with the swirl. Okay. All right. So anyway, Cody sits down with his friend Zach. And, and they have a conversation. I was surprised that Cody didn't sit down with his family member or with his brother. But I thought that it was wise that he did not do that. He said that Zach was one of his best men. And so he sat down with him and he asked him about, what you think I should do, help me out a little bit. And he was like, oh, and by the way, we've been married for 8 weeks, almost 8 weeks now, and we haven't consummated the marriage. And Zach almost spit his drink out, okay, his good alcohol, all right? And I don't blame Zach, because who's in a relationship with someone that you are married to for 8 weeks and you still have not consummated your marriage? As far as I'm concerned, Cody, you need to get an annulment, but I told you that before. And then, like I said, you haven't had any in a while. Auntie's not a bad looking girl at all. And I'm just saying, call me. Call your girl who's with the swirl. Okay. All right. So the next person that we see that is reaching out to a family friend is Sheila. Sheila reaches out to her girlfriend Tamika, who has been married for 5 years. The thing that I did not like about what Sheila did was that the brother was in the next room. I think that when you're having a conversation about your husband, that you should not include other people into your conversation. You need to have a conversation in private. This also lets me know that this is something that will spill over into their marriage when they have children. You have to know what's sacred and what's not sacred, what goes on in the bedroom or between a couple should stay between that couple. Now, I can see if you have a really good confidant or someone like that that you talk to, then that's fine. But to have that conversation with the brother sitting in the room when you're talking to Tamika about the brother and about yourself, I thought this was really inappropriate on Sheila's behalf. But anyway, I'm going to move on. So her and Tamika talk about, you know, where the relationship is. She says, you know, well, you know, we've always had problems, but our biggest problem was the last argument that we had. We both stepped over lines, and we really said some mean and horrible things to one another. And so, you know, the girl was like, well, you know, it is still new. You all still getting to know one another. And so, you know, basically don't give up. She says, you know, Sheila goes on to say that we both have realized what the triggers are with one another. And so we're trying not to trigger each other, especially in the heat of the moment. I think maturity, I think I see a little bit of maturity, at least on her behalf. Just a smidget. I mean, I'm talking about a smidget. Like, I'm talking about a little teeny bit. Like, I'm talking about almost like a grain of salt. And I'm talking about almost like what the Bible says, you know, when it says when you got the faith the size of a mustard seed. I'm saying that that's how much maturity I see in Sheila. Because there's still a part of Sheila that is just really self-righteous to me. And yes, I am trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. God damn, I am. But I mean, you know, okay, so I'm going to give her a mustard seed level of it. Then we see Nathan, and he's talking to his dad on the phone. He's asking his dad for his advice. He mentions that his dad has never been married before. And the dad during the conversation says that he has never been married because he never wanted to be divorced. Nathan is between, you know, is basically between two worlds, because he's a religious man. He's a Christian man. He seems to be a really good black guy. But he's also living in a world where he is not the dominant financial provider in his household. And because of that, and because of the way that Sheila has grown up with her parents, she feels a sense of superiority to me over Nathan. I just, you know, even when she came out to the basketball court and she told Nathan, you know, basically be done with me, I'm ready to end the marriage. I thought that, you know, basically the marriage was over at that point. But it appears that the marriage, that Nathan is still in need of fight. And he actually loves Sheila. I don't know what it is he loves about her, but he loves Sheila. And so that's none of my business, because at the end of the day, I don't have to go to bed with Sheila. I don't have to feed Sheila. I don't have to buy Sheila's clothes. I don't have to put a perm in Sheila's hair, nor do I have to buy a weave or a wig. I don't have to put shoes on her feet and clothes on her back. And nor do I provide a roof over her head or a car for her to drive. So at the end of the day, my opinion doesn't matter, and it doesn't count as it relates to their marriage, but I'm giving the damn thing anyway. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And so now what we have now is Danielle and CODY. You know, they're giving out gifts to one another. And so she buys him a I can't remember what you call it, but it was like a glass container that you put your alcohol in, like your good scotch or your good, you know, your good whiskey or whatever you know, you may have your good Patron or whatever you call yourself drinking. And it has two glasses that are accompanied with it that says his, hers, and ours. And the his and hers is on the two glasses and the ours is on. But look, okay, basically, as you can tell, I didn't like the gift, because I feel like if you're giving each other a gift and it is time for you, you know, to really express through a gift or through some type of object your affection for one another, that you don't buy a house gift. Now see, the thing about it is Danielle, I can tell, and I've been able to tell from the very beginning, she has the testosterone in the relationship. She is the man, she wears the pants, and she's very comfortable with that. And so why she doesn't see herself being the person to initiate sex and all of that kind of stuff, I don't understand, because that's what she did in her other relationships. But for a woman to go out and buy a gift that's so senseless, or a gift that's for the house. If he had brought her ass a toaster, she would have been mad about it. If he had came in there and brought her a microwave. But instead, CODY reached inside and got a gift that he thought was symbolic of their relationship. And it was a necklace. He gave her a necklace, and it had these little scrolls and things like that on it. And he talked about the, the relationship and how it had taken a lot of turns and twists and stuff like that. And he's just a really good guy. And I think that, they may have done a good job to match them up, as they keep on saying, quote unquote, because she's a nutritionist and he has a gym. But you know what? It takes more than that for a couple in a relationship to last. And you know what? At the end of the day, CODY is really, to me, in a loveless relationship. Now, I don't know what goes on in their household 24 hours a day. I really don't. But based on what we have been presented from editing and from the producers, CODY really is in a loveless relationship with this girl, Danielle. And she just really doesn't have anything positive to say about him at all. It just like really gets on my nerve. But anyway, CODY, call your girl. Because your girl is down with this world. Call me. Okay. So anyway, we see Ashley. She, is chilling with Anthony. This is the day before. And she brings him this little, box that she made. And inside of the box, she has pictures of the two of them, and she has their vows, and he thinks that it's the sweetest thing. And he said that she always does things that are kind and that are thoughtful, and I thought that was really nice. But the thing about it was, I would not have given someone a gift like that the day before we have to make a decision, because if that Bama say that he don't want to marry me, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna have a damn problem up in the house. Okay, so when we get to Sheila and Nate, they're hanging pictures up on the wall of their marriage, their wedding day. They don't give out any gifts, or not at least a gift I've seen. The only gift I saw was the plant, and that came in by way of an apology from Nate. Other than that, I ain't seen no damn gift. And I'm saying, if the producers told you buy me a gift, Bama, buy me a gift. Alright, so anyway, now here we are. We're at decision day. And we're going to go through Auntie predictions. I predicted that CODY would not stay in the relationship. I predicted that Nate would, and that Anthony would. So let's see how good I was. And I didn't get it right. They were 3 for 3. This is the first season of Married at First Sight that all the couples have chosen to stay together. They were elated. Okay. Now, I wish my camera was working, because I had all kinds of clips and all kinds of everything. Okay. Because I really wanted you all to see, the decision time and all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, Auntie need to grow up and learn how to work her damn camera. Okay, so anyway, we start off with Ashley and Anthony, and she tells him that she wants to stay married. He looks comfortable with it, and he tells her he wouldn't want to spend his life with anybody but her. He couldn't even imagine it. He's never been lost for words, but today I'm at a loss for words. Ashley, I love you. I said, get out of here. Congratulations. I think that they had chemistry from the beginning. I do think that they have a lot of things that they need to work through. However, I think that they will be happily married. They do realize, at least, that they have to come together and make a decision about when they're going to have a baby. But knowing Anthony, he is going to submit to his wife, and she realizes, and she tells him, baby, I'm going to support you. I want to make you happy. When you get up in the morning, baby, I'm going to have them eggs fried. I'm going to have that. Okay, but anyway, let me stop. So they decided to be together. No shock, no surprise there. The next couple we see is Danielle and CODY. Okay. They sit their ass there. Danielle sits there. Of course, you know, they asked the woman first, Danielle, do you still want to be married to CODY? She says, well, you know, CODY, I like you, dude. Like, I really like you, dude. Think you real cool and everything. I ain't in love with you. I'm not even moving to a place of being in love. But, you know, we doing this experiment. We getting to know each other, and fuck it. I want to go ahead on and stay married. Really? That's how you tell somebody you want to stay married to them? Now, I know y'all think I'm exaggerating. Hey, boo. Auntie, you are right about the gift, okay? I know y'all think I'm exaggerating, because y'all know sometimes Auntie can be a drama queen. But let me tell y'all something. That's what came out her mouth. She told that Bama that she wasn't even moving to a place of being in love, but she wanted to stay married. CODY went into a daze. The doctor had to snap, crackle, pop his ass out of it. He was in complete and total shock. He just knew that his life sentence at the marriage penitentiary was about to be over. But oh no, Danielle said, bitch, you got 20 years of life. I'm not letting you go. And you know what? It was sad, because you can see that CODY was a complete shock. Like, his face was like, I said, damn. Damn, CODY. So CODY turns to her. He said, you know what? We have been through a lot of ups and downs. I ain't getting no butter, nothing. You know, most of the time we find something, at least one thing during the day that we gonna smile about, or that we can laugh about. So you know what, Danielle, I'm gonna go ahead on and stay married to you. Yup, that's how my face was looking. And I said, you know what? Don't call me CODY. Don't call me. Because you know what? I don't want you no more. If you want Danielle and you will tolerate that, I don't want you. Don't even call me. Act like I ain't never say nothing. Okay? Because that's how I was feeling at the end of the episode. I was like, ugh. Okay? So the next couple that we have is Nate and SHEILA. They're talking about, you know, the things, and the doctors are thinking that, you know, have they ruined the relationship? Did they do too much damage in order to be able to come back and recover from it? So SHEILA sits there with her hair looking a little bit like this, I guess. I mean, she ain't got the pink stuff on it, and it ain't high and glossy and stuff like that. It's a little ashed out, you know what I'm saying? Like a number 4, number 2, you know what I'm saying, from the Chinese hair shop, you know what I'm saying, where we go and get all our wigs and shit like that from, you know what I'm saying? But she was looking like, you know, like that. And she was like, Nate, you know, we've been through a lot. And I really do love you. You know, I mean, I really do. And I think that, you know, I want to stay married to you, man, that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Okay. All right. So Nate like, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Nate has this cockiness about him that's appealing. It's like sexy. It's like he's the kind of guy that's just like so confident. And when a man is confident like that, I don't care how ugly he is or how beady his head is. I don't care if his hair is looking like, you know, individual bullet shot. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Just looking like pellets that you would put in a BB gun and shoot the hell out of a rat or a raccoon or a bird. You understand what I'm saying? It's just something about his sex, his confidence that makes him sexy. Now, I ain't saying that, okay, Flavor Flav. Okay. So he turns, he said, you know, well, today is decision day. You know what I'm saying? Technically, today is decision day, but for me, decision day was the day I said I do. I love this woman. He said, girl, you trapped. You ain't going nowhere. Arr! You see what I'm saying? He was like, you trapped. That just make you be like, oh, I'm trapped. Oh, baby. Ooh, baby love, my baby love. I need you. Oh, I need your love. You know what I'm saying? It just make you like, you know, the kind of sound, you know what I'm saying, like you got asthma, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had an inhaler in 50 years. Oh. So, you know, I just was like, okay, well, they gonna stay together. Clap it up. Clap it up for him. So I was pleasantly surprised at that moment after they gave their little vow, because each couple, after they said what they said, they made another promise and another vow. And I saw Sheila cry. Not cry because she was at the end of an argument or at the end of emasculating her man. Not cry because she felt self-righteous and felt like she had the right to be right in the middle of an argument. I didn't see Sheila cry because she walked away from her man because she did not want the cameras to film her. I saw her cry because she realized in that moment that Nate had brought some things into her life by just being a man of God, that she didn't even know she needed, that she didn't even know she had been lacking. And let me just say this to the couples, okay? Sheila, you won't be married a good 2 years if you don't change yourself. Submission is not a cuss word. It's a blessing word. When you learn how to submit and respect your man and to treat him like the man that God has created him to be, flaws and all, when you learn how to love him unconditionally, Sheila, as you have told him that he loves you and that he loves you passionately with no conditions, unless you do that, you're not going to be married a good 2 years. And it's unfortunate because not only are you in error in this way, a lot of women are, especially African American women. We are taught, most of us, from the age of 14, 15 to learn how to be independent and to do things on our own. And there is nothing wrong with being an independent woman. But you know what? There are certain things that you have to find yourself being dependent of. There's nothing wrong with depending on another human being. That's a man. That is your companion. There's nothing wrong with serving him as he serves God. There's nothing wrong with being a feminine woman, knowing your femininity, knowing the worth of who you are, the value that is within you, and the woman of influence that God has created you to be. There is nothing wrong with that, Sheila. You don't have to be right all the time. You're going to have to learn how to walk away sometimes when you want to say something. You're going to have to learn how to bite your tongue And let me tell you something. If you do that, you will get the respect and the love from your husband that you so crave and you so desire. Don't take into things that you saw that your parents and your mom and your dad did, because that's their relationship and that's their generation. In this generation, a lot of people are working in partnership with one another. And even in partnership and knowing that you are making more money than your husband, you don't emasculate him and make him feel like less than a man because his salary is less than yours. Salary does not dictate rank. God has created man to be the head. And he has not created him to be the Lord over you, but to be your man, your helpmeet. That's what you are to one another. So Sheila, let me tell you something. I know what it is to be a successful woman. I know what it is to have a man in your life who doesn't make more money than you. Basically, you're basically taking care of the home. But it takes nothing away from you to submit yourself to that man and love him the way that God has created a woman to love and to support her man. And to Danielle, it won't last a good 60 days unless you get what you're saying, boo-boo. Oh, thank you, boo. Danielle, your relationship will not last another 60 days. Because until you see Cody as the man that he is and the man that God has created him to be, that's not going to last for you either. Let me tell you something. All men don't have to be brutal. They don't have to snatch you up in order for you to feel like a woman. They ain't got to bust you in your damn head to prove that they are a man. Some men, their gentleness and their kindness, their compassion towards you and towards others is more masculine than a man that can lift a truck up over his head. You have to be able to recognize the qualities in Cody and be able to embrace them. And you know what? Get a couple of books. Learn how to be more feminine. Learn how to learn how to do bubble baths and massages and all of that kind of stuff. If that's not what you're doing, learn how to do girly things and be the woman that God has created you to be. And to Ashley, I think that you're pregnant already. And so we'll see next week whether or not you're pregnant. But Ashley, let me just say this, boo. The Bible says that a man shall get married and leave his mother and his father's household and cleave unto his wife. And that is what I believe that you need to do. You need to learn how to go with the flow, how to relax, and let somebody take care of you. But I think that you're headed in the right step. So I don't have a lot to say about you. But let me just say this, Anthony. Be more aggressive with her. Communicate, baby. Let her know that sometimes she gets on your damn nerve. And it's okay. Because at the end of the day, you can lay down in that bed and don't let that sun set on that argument. Get it straight. That's one thing that I see that you do very good. So anyway, you all, next week I will be coming out. We will be doing a review on if these couples are still together. Is Auntie prediction still right? I predict that Cody and Danielle are not together anymore. I predict that Nate and Sheila are not together anymore, but that Ashley and Anthony are still together. And we'll see next week whether or not Auntie is right or whether or not she's wrong. Thank y'all so much for coming out tonight and listening to my review. Again, if you have not already done so, like, comment, and subscribe to your Auntie's channel, okay? And y'all have a wonderful weekend on purpose. I will see you all Sunday for our live chat and nightcap, talking about whatever the hell we want to talk about. Bye-bye, y'all. Mwah.